On GUTV's special edition of the Doghouse, we will get a behind-the-scenes look at one of Gonzaga's greatest traditions, Tent City.
We have the best student section of all time, I think, hands down.
And later, we'll share the story of Christian Lehman and how he became the #1 Zags fan.
We will also check on GUTV's Ryan Edwards in the Tweet Suite to see what people asked him about his life outside of basketball. You're watching GUTV.
Hello and welcome into the Doghouse on GUTV. I'm Daniel Inserpi.
And I'm Corey Erickson. It's November, which means that college basketball is back. Tonight we will preview the Gonzaga teams on and off the court.
Our men's team comes into the season ranked 14th in the AP poll with a 2-0 record. Our women's team is also undefeated, winning their most recent game by over 60 points. Our tip-off starts with Gonzaga point guard Nigel Williams-Goss. GUTV's Ryan Edwards asked the University of Washington transfer what his life is like off of the court in this special edition of One Lap.
So Nigel, besides basketball, what do you find passion in?
Definitely fashion. Outside of basketball, pretty much my life revolves around fashion. That's what my friends are into, so that's kind of what I like to do.
Why fashion?
I don't know, it started from a young age. My mom was really big into clothes, you know, the typical mom that used to go shopping all the time, and so she would always dress me nice. And as I got older, like I said, some of my friends got into the actual industry, started working with some of their own companies and own brands. Had a couple friends working over at Nike. So we just kind of all had this similar interest, and it just kind of grew from there.
That's awesome. So, you know, going from UW to Gonzaga, basketball is not an easy job. Who really helped you get to where you are today?
Definitely my dad. You know, he's been my trainer since I started playing when I was 4. Kind of just been in my corner the whole way. Always supported me in everything I did. And the one thing I loved about him is he never pushed me to do anything I didn't want to do. I was always really self-motivated, and like I said, he just supported everything I wanted to do. So if I wanted to get up before school and work out, he was down to do it. So just blessed and fortunate to have a dad like that.
Absolutely. So, you know, basketball aside, what was your favorite class?
My favorite class, definitely one of my psych classes that I had, social health and relations with Professor Sarah Erpin. It was a really fun class.
What made it, is it just more interesting?
It was just the way it was generated was it was a lot of discussion based, and so we would go home and each class period we'd have to read an article, and then class would really just break down the article. So we talked a lot about a lot of the world issues going on, and obviously being a minority, there was a lot of things having to do with race and also gender and stuff like that. So it was just a really interesting class.
What if you could tell your fans at Gonzaga, you know, one thing they don't know about you besides obviously fashion now? What could you tell them?
One thing that I could tell I would say that
they can see you through campus, walking through campus, they can just spark a conversation.
What could spark it? Honestly, like I said, after basketball, it comes down to music and fashion for me. So if I didn't say fashion, it'd have to be music. I always got my iPod earphones in and listen to music. So
who's your top 3 artists?
Top 3 artists, Drake's definitely in the conversation for sure. After that, it kind of just varies upon my mood. I listen to a lot of different rappers. Lately, I've been listening to this guy from the East Coast named A Boogie. Been listening to A Boogie a lot. Meek Mill just dropped the album. Future, I don't know. Like I said, just after Drake, it kind of just varies.
So many different options. Yep. Well, awesome, man. Well, this is all the time we got for our One Lap, but I just want to thank you for coming out today and, you know, giving the fans what they want to hear about Nigel Williams-Goss.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course.
Nigel's transfer adds even more excitement to the matchup in December with the Huskies. The journey that started in Seattle has moved to Spokane, and Zag Nation has welcomed Nigel with open arms.
Gonzaga has their best recruiting class, including a McDonald's All-American.
These 5 freshmen are from all over the world, from Las Vegas and Chicago to Japan and Denmark.
Zach Collins is the McDonald's All-American. Coming out of high school, ESPN ranked Collins as the best player in Nevada. In his first 2 games, the 7-foot center has been the Zag's second leading scorer off the bench in limited minutes.
From one Zag to another, Zach Norvell comes to Gonzaga from Chicago, Illinois. He is a product of the Simeon Career Academy, which has turned out NBA stars like Derrick Rose and Jabari Parker. Norvell chose GU after the recruiting effort from former Zag and Chicago native Jeremy Pargo. In a summer league game in high school, Zach put up over 50 points, including 14 three-pointers.
Killian Tilly is one of the 3 international recruits that make up this year's Gonzaga class. Tilly models his game after NBA All-Star Kevin Durant, noting similarities in his length and style of play. If Tilly wasn't playing basketball, he'd be playing volleyball. Both his parents played and coach volleyball now.
Rui Hachimura is a 6-foot 8-inch forward from Sendai, Japan. He comes to Gonzaga as only the 5th Japanese-born player to play Division I basketball. Rui says that if he was not a basketball player, he would play baseball, since it is a popular sport in Japan.
Jacob Larson is another highly touted and international big man. Larson, a Denmark native, played ping pong in the Junior Olympics at 10 years old. Unfortunately, he will have to sit out this year after suffering a knee injury in practice.
You know what, Corey? I've been really impressed with both Zach Collins and Killian Tilly as freshmen to come off the bench. The moment's not too big for them. They're ready to be contributors on this team.
Yeah, it's great to have these young guys off the bench with J-Dub3 and Shemek starting. It's just a pleasure to have them coming off the bench. The women's team has looked absolutely incredible. They scored 100 their last game for the first time since 2014. They knocked down 15 threes. They've been absolutely great.
They have been phenomenal. And you know what? It all starts with the redshirt senior Ellie Tinkle, who overcame a knee injury that she suffered last year. GUTV's Sarah Fiortov met with Ellie to talk about her final year as a Zag and how she continues to manage the difficult load of being a full-time nursing student and a star basketball player.
It's no surprise that Ellie is a basketball star. Her family shares the love for the game, and it started when she was young, while her dad played basketball overseas.
I grew up for the first 6 or 7 years of my life. We were overseas in Spain, kind of all over the place, and so we would always be over there for the majority of the year and then come back for the summers during off season, and that was kind of our life.
Her mom and dad met playing basketball at Montana. Her older sister played at Stanford and continued on in the WNBA and overseas. Her younger brother now plays at Oregon State under the head coach, their father.
It's definitely a basketball family, and that's obviously a huge part of our lives, but it's not something that, you know, I think controls us or something that we constantly have to be thinking about basketball. I think it's more than anything just something that kind of keeps us all together.
Ellie definitely doesn't let it control her as she excels in the classroom, pursuing her passion for nursing. When she's not in the court, Ellie trades in her basketball shoes for a stethoscope.
I knew that I was going to want a career where I was constantly around people. I obviously want to be able to help people in any way that I can, and nursing was kind of that profession where I could care for somebody, but I could also be the direct kind of person in charge of somebody's care.
Ellie spends long days walking to Tilford, working in the skills lab by practicing with dummy patients, checking vitals, and perfecting what she needs to do when she has her real patients. Basketball and nursing are both big commitments, and most people would have to choose one over the other, but Ellie proves otherwise.
It opens your eyes to that you can really be passionate about more than one thing and do anything that you want and not just have to settle for one.
While nursing isn't her future, Ellie has thought of playing basketball overseas as well.
I love traveling, and I would love to be able to see another part of the world and then, you know, get to do what I love at the same time.
Whether it be playing basketball overseas or being a nurse near family, Ellie's ability to balance her passions guarantees a successful future. Sarah Fjortoft, GUTV.
Ellie's care for people as a nursing student has also helped her develop chemistry with her teammates.
The women's basketball recruiting class is made up of 2 guards and a forward.
From Moses Lake to Australia, the Zags have recruited from all over the world.
Guard Jessie Lowetta is a local recruit for the Zags freshman class. She was a standout at Moses Lake High School in Central Washington. Lowetta's pregame routine consists of brushing her teeth and putting on a cross on her wrist for her grandfather.
Freshman guard Corinne Douglas left sunny Southern California to be a Zag. She is majoring in human physiology and comes to GU after a decorated high school career. Her family has a strong athletic pedigree, with her sister playing volleyball at Whitworth, while her father played water polo at Humboldt State.
Grace Collette is a 6'4" forward from Greensboro, Australia. Majoring in biology, she hopes to become a veterinary surgeon. Collette is a huge dog lover and even has a cardboard cutout of her dog in her dorm room here at Gonzaga.
Now that we know all about these new faces, and we've even taken a look at the standouts both on and off the court, both men's and women's teams look poised for just an incredible season.
Yeah, with the high caliber of these incoming classes, Gonzaga doesn't have to worry about some of the studs we're losing as far as upperclassmen for both the men and the women's team. They're both poised to make another NCAA tournament appearance in March.
I sure think so. It's a great time to be a Zag as always. And after the break, we'll check in with Ryan Edwards in the Tweet Suite to see what questions people asked about his life on and off the court.
We will also look at the inner workings of Kent City and feature the Gonzaga's #1 fan. You're watching The Doghouse on GUTV.